Defense over offense. What is good? It is draft day, obviously. I mean, you see me repping my C's gear. You know, I'm repping my Boston Celtics today, obviously, because it's draft day, as I already said that. But let's jump right into it. You know, with the sixth pick of this 2014 NBA draft, my Boston Celtics select Marcus Smart, point guard from Oklahoma State University. With the 17th pick of the 2014 NBA draft, my Boston Celtics also select James Young, a shooter guard, possibly could shift to small forward if he gets up to 6-7 inches, from the University of Kentucky. What do I think about these draft picks? I gotta say, I'm really happy with these draft picks, you know? I mean, because when you're a rebuilding team that's in rebuilding mode, that's how you got to start, you know? You got to start getting players, you know? Get players, you know? I mean, I think Marcus Smart could be a big contribution to this team, you know? I mean, I really like big point guards, you know, because those kind of guys can do a lot. I mean, he's a multi-dimensional guy who can do a lot, and that's the kind of guys that I like, you know? I mean, he's 6'5". I mean, he's got some frame and muscle. You know, he could shoot from the outside. He could slash through. You know, he can make nice dunks. You know, he's got good court vision to be a floor general point guard. And I love those type of guys. You know, I love them. You know? You know, I mean, now, don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously a guy who hasn't played in the NBA yet. I'm not trying to compare him to a guy that has played in the NBA for a long time. But he kind of reminds me of Andre Iguodala, you know, because Iggy can play and guard multiple positions. He could play point guard, he could play shooting guard, he could play small forward, and he could guard those positions as well. You know, I mean, he's very athletic, aggressive on defense, you know, and he can put up big numbers on offense if he wants to, but no, he looks for his teammates first. You know, he's a good team player, and Andre Iguodala, I gotta say he's the most underrated player in the game, but again, I kind of went off on a tangent there. Now let's start talking about James Young. You know, I mean, I heard some of the sports analysts talking about how they expected James Young to be a top 10 pick, and you know, I mean, I'm not trying to be biased here, but I think he's got that talent, you know. I mean, he's primarily a catch and shoot guy, but he also has the strength, build, and athleticism to slash through the lane and be dunking on guys, you know, getting inside shots, and you know that's what I like. But since he's a shooter guard, he was mostly used as a catch and shoot guy. You know, maybe if he gets up to 6'7", maybe 6'8", we might move him to small forward, and he's going to be doing a little bit more of both. You know, I mean, it'd be good if he could do more of both. You know, because when he was in college, he was mostly a catch and shoot guy, but he also has a great ability to be a cutter as well. You know, and I know a lot of people. I know this came to a lot of y'all's minds. You know, I know that this came to a lot of y'all's minds. You know, some of you were asking, so since the Celtics drafted a point guard, what does this mean for Rajon Rondo? My answer to that question is, look, I think some Celtics fans may hate me for saying this, but I think that whether we keep him or whether we trade him, I think that they both could very well work out, you know? I mean, because if we keep Rondo, our backcourt is going to be stacked. I mean, I know Marcus Smart's a point guard, but he can play shooter guard too. He can play both positions, and he can guard most positions. Or, I mean, he could start off as being a backup point guard or whatever. But if we trade Rondo, you know, I'm very confident that Marcus Smart could fill that spot quickly. And listen, if you ask the other admin on here, he can tell me how critical that I have been of Danny Ainge. You know, I mean, he could tell you. You know, I mean, I was even telling him about this more so a year ago, how I was very critical of Danny Ainge. You know, I mean, saying that he's a terrible general manager and everything. But I know this for sure. Danny Ainge is not going to give away his best player just like that, you know? I mean, if he's going to give away his best player, he's going to be looking to get something out of it. He's going to be looking to get something out of it, you know? I mean, Danny Ainge, Whit Grosbeck, they're not going to give away their best player just like that. They're not just going to give away their best player, you know? They're going to get something good out of it, you know? If we keep Rondo, I'm confident that Marcus Smart and James Young are going to find spots on the team. But if we trade him, it's going to be for a good cause, and we're going to get something really good out of it, you know? So that's all I have for right now, you know? I mean, post down in the comment section your thoughts about the NBA draft. And I'm out. Go Celtics.